Yes, recording.
All right. Hi, I'm King Chocolate of LA.
And I am Queen Vanilla of the French Riviera.
And together we make chocolate and vanilla swirl. So what we got for them today, Ann?
So our theme for today is the business of marriage. So, and I think you have some good things to say from your perspective, King Chocolate.
Yeah, and I've written up a credo for marriage that I kind of put some thought into myself through my experiences in my life and what I observed with other people. So I'll read it for you. My credo for marriage: in order to achieve never-ending success in a marriage, both people must step into and treat the holy alliance in the same way you would a business, company, or organization that has a vision for its growth and development. Is it not true that we have a signed document that legalizes our union/partnership? Very similar to any partnership I know of in business. The way I see it is that we've entered into a marital business. So that this is the CEO's credo, which says, if you don't go forward, you go backward. The American credo recognizes that each human life is valued equally and that everyone is owed and owes to others a level of respect by virtue of being a part of the human community. So I came up with my credo for marriage really based on my observation of life, of my experiences, which I've been married. This is my fourth wife. Okay. And the things that I've taken from each relationship in marriage, and I've seen it all in a way where there wasn't a certain seriousness that came from either one of us. Actually, we didn't understand commitment. What does that mean to have that level of commitment? So then I connect that with when I see businesses that prosper, companies, organizations that prosper, what I think of is there's a communication, an interaction, communication. There's an acceptance of each other on some level, right? Because if you don't accept each other on some level, the business goes kaput. So there's a commitment there that I see that's, in my experiences, that is not really, I never held in a marriage, and the wives I've had, they never held that commitment as well. I've learned that the wife I have now, she's been in the corporate world for 19 years. And we've been together since '06. This is the longest. I mean, this is like double, maybe triple the time I've ever been with someone. And in a way that we understand one another, we give each other respect, we show love, we show care, devotion. And this is the first relationship I've been in my life that I have all that.
So would you say the two of you, because in your CEO credo, you talk about if you don't go forward, you go backwards. So do the two of you support each other going forwards? Is that part of what you experience in your marriage?
And that's what I've noticed. That's what I've noticed being with someone who has experience in the business world for so long a time. That's a different mentality. Like, she takes it on differently than other people I've been with who have not had that experience. This is her first marriage. So it's not like she's got to try it out before and then work on it. No, this is her first marriage. I think it's her second longest relationship. Yeah. For me, it's, I guess, my fifth sixth longest relationship.
Well, I guess you must just have been a tough nut to crack. Hey.
I am. Cracking myself is hard enough. For somebody else to crack me in, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Well, that's what you were saying, I think. You have been saying about it starts with a commitment to yourself. I'm not sure if I heard you saying that at one point, that really the strength of the marriage comes with the individual commitment to yourself first, and bringing that into the partnership.
Yes, I see it that way, and where it's not so much about focusing on the marriage. I mean, though you do, but it's, who are you? Like, who are you about? Who are you being in these situations that you're connecting and interacting in such a way with this other person, this other individual? Who are you wanting to be along this journey of, are you growing? Are you developing in a certain way? Because if not, if you're seeing yourself, I have to say, being the same person day in and day out, year after year, what are you doing for yourself? And in that respect, how much can you really add to helping to develop and grow a relationship of two people?
Well, and I think these days this is more relevant than ever. I used to work in the theatre in London, and my boss was a very lovely guy. He was an older man, and he'd been involved in the theatre in the 1930s in London. And he used to say that at that time, these pretty young things, they get married, and as soon as they got married, they get what he called gate-legged. It's like a table. And they just became solid, because once they got the man, then that was it. They were secure. And of course, that has changed hugely now because women are more independent and so on and so on. So the tradition of marriage wasn't that you'd actually take on board or you'd take responsibility for your own well-being within that partnership. You kind of depend on the other person. And I'd hear people saying, oh, I'll make you happy. And when I hear people saying that, when I'm doing a wedding, and they're saying, well, it's like, I kind of think, because no one can make anyone else happy. They can create the environment where someone is happy, but if someone's committed to being miserable, it's nothing you can do. So each person is responsible and accountable for their own well-being, and they can invite the other person to participate, but they need to be able to communicate the honesty, the authenticity, and even the vulnerability of who they are at times, because that's real. We all have those moments of vulnerability where we can be open and communicate. And I think the marriage partnership, in a way, can bring a lesson back into corporate world, because the corporate world isn't always caring, in the sense that money is the objective, which is fair enough. Companies have to thrive and exist financially and so forth. But in a marriage partnership, it isn't just the money, it's the caring that is communicated in the partnership, but then obviously in raising the children. And
corporations are also coming more along the lines of building family.
Yeah.
So they're trying to develop it in a way where they're being more concerned and caring about, well, how are families doing in this?
Yes, which is great. It's wonderful that is happening, because there's a recognition of we're all in this family together. People want that sense of connection that you have in a family. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people who don't learn lessons in their family find themselves in a company where they get to learn the lessons they didn't learn in their family of origin. There is a real, how can I say, there's a parallel that you could draw between the family as a unit and the company or the organization as a unit.
Yeah. Yeah. When I think of myself, you just made a good point. If it's something that's not visible in their lives, and they join this company who is about, one of their themes is to grow and develop in the family, to have the family be a part of our business, our company or organization, then they'll get to see that. Because that would happen to me. I didn't grow up in two parents who were together. So I didn't really know what that looked like. Being my wife, being invited to the different functions of the businesses that she's been into, I got to see more of it's like, oh, this family vibe connection going on inside this company. People just come together at these functions and enjoying each other's company and being respectful of one another. And that was so new to me. And that feeling, like being with the wife I have now, that feeling of just having this type of, connection with another person in the way that we do. Yeah, I didn't know that before. Here it is. I learned that late in life.
Yes.
Like my 40s. I'm in my 50s now, but it started in my 40s when I met my wife I have now.
Well, this is where I feel very strongly, because as a celebrant, I support people in making vows that are relevant for them, not just, that seem to be something you pick off the internet or something, but I really invite people to think about the promises they're making that are relevant for them. And they are kind of, those vows are the foundation of the devotion to each other going forward. But then what I'm now introducing is marriage coaching, where people can understand what the commitment means, not in a heavy sense, but in a way of making it lighter. So understanding about communication, which is often not very well understood, the courage to be open and vulnerable at times without being afraid of being cut down or made wrong or things like that. So there's real respect for the person's feelings and honesty. And I love the expression, communication in a safe space, so the person feels safe to say what's going on for them without fear that they're going to be rejected or made wrong or judged, or those kinds of things. And I think there's a real need, an opportunity for people to have a little bit of guidance right at the get-go as the vehicle gets going, because people often talk about marriage as being a journey. And so I like the idea that when you first drive a car, you are given instructions about how to handle a car so you drive safely. But there's very little instruction around about how you drive a vehicle, which is the marriage. And I feel quite passionately strong that it's needed at this time, because look, most children, or a lot of children, are growing up with parents that have been split, step parents. I mean, they don't have the role model of a married couple in their parents very often. They've seen breakup and upset and anger and recrimination, all those kind of good things. Well, lots of good things, really. And so there's a real, I think, not demand, but a value in people having some guidelines. And interesting, in the people that I've worked with recently, it's the men that are more interested in the coaching than the women. Because I think traditionally, men talk about sport and business, they don't talk about their feelings. And I think men are realizing that this is a time to actually have the confidence, and it's about confidence, that it's okay to have feelings, because a lot of the male world is very macho. And that's fine. But when it comes to the home and wanting the support that a home can give, I think there's a role here, or a scope for more sensitivity and more feelings, and that it's safe. It's okay for men to be sensitive. And in fact, I think one of the most attractive things in men is when they show sensitivity. When I see fathers with their infants, it wouldn't happen 30 years ago, but you now see men just holding this little life, and you can see the tenderness and the connection between the baby and its father. And I just love that. I think it gives me great hope.
I'm connecting with more guys who are choosing to stay home with the children as well.
Yeah.
The difference, this world is just really changing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. But I think the coaching community is like a spearhead of that kind of awareness. And that's what I find very exciting about the coaching community, because they're realizing these things. They're in the business of development for themselves, as well as they're working with clients, when the two go together, really. So I'm very excited about the direction that the coaching community is going in, and the possibilities and the opportunities that are there. So the business of marriage and the marriage of business, it's like, it's coming to the fore, and I think it's a thrilling time.
What comes to my mind right now, and is thinking of, well, just remembering hearing different people saying, well, I wish my husband or my wife would treat me the same way, give me the same attention that they give that business. Another thing that came to my mind, people saying that, I wish, man, look how dedicated they are to that business. I wish that they were treating me in the same fashion. And I've heard that from people.
I was talking to someone just this week who is experiencing that. She and her husband have been married for 32 years, and they've kind of got locked into this way of being together.
Yeah.
But they're both evolving, and he tends to spend all his time in his business or doing Sudoku, and the warmth is just not there between them anymore. And they've lost that connection they had when they first married, of the love and just seeing soul to soul, heart to heart, which is sort of, when people get married, that energy is so present. But over the years, it's got lost. So that, as I experienced it, there are two places for doing this marriage development or marriage coaching: is right at the beginning, to get some good habits down, to get the understanding of how communication works and this kind of thing. And then 10, 20, 30 years into the marriage, having a boost, just reevaluating, reconnecting with that love you had when you first got married, because it doesn't change. The individual deep down doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
But on the outside, they may change because our personalities evolve and grow and change. But that soul can come alive, that heart can come alive in a greater way, and particularly the challenges that a couple can meet can grow the love stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And if it isn't, it's like this quote you had about, if you don't go forward, you go backward. If you don't use those opportunities to expand and grow the love, which is what the marriage is about, you go back and down and eventually out of it because it dies. It's like plants.
I think that a lot of people are thinking like, I'll just stay, we can just keep it the same. When I've learned that nothing stays the same. You're going to go forward or you're going to go backwards. There is no middle ground. Like, we'll always be this way. No, you won't.
No. Well, the world is evolving and changing so rapidly. So we as people living in this world can't be the same.
Yeah.
Because of things like social media, the technology. I mean, there's making new invitations to us all the time to look at life differently. Mm-hmm. And I think to see it as better. But the problem is that we hear in the news about, like the world's going to hell in a handbasket, which it isn't at all. In fact, there are wonderful things going on. There's great news, but you have to search for it. You're more likely to hear the bad news, but that's limited. It may not be fake bad news, but it's limited. It's partial.
Yeah.
Because there are wonderful things that people are doing, and you experience that in the coaching world, I'm sure. The opportunities to grow the love, be the best we can, grow the love that we are, and expand into that. And as you share that love with your partner, with your loved one, I mean, it's an upward spiral into more of that loving who we all are deep down.
What did you say? Upward spiral there, Ann?
I did. And
it comes with the little swirl too, huh?
It does. It comes with chocolate and vanilla every time. Yeah, exactly. Move on up. Yeah, exactly. Right. For sure. Right. That's what we're here for. To more love.
Yeah. So this was great, and once again, this was great connecting with you in this way, having these very powerful conversations, because life doesn't stop, right? It continues to go, and if you don't learn how to step into it, roll with it, make better decisions, to learn how to make better decisions, to think in a more constructive way on what you want out of life and how do you want to connect with other people, because we're here together. You feel me, Ann? We're here together. So
we certainly are. We may be two sides of the world, but we're together.
Yeah, right. You're right. And look at this. You in France and I'm in LA, and we're connecting like this. Technology, I tell you.
Technology, yeah, but it's also, I think, the appreciation that wherever we've come from, whatever our backgrounds are, and the challenges we maybe have met, whatever, that at the end of the day, we are two human beings on the same planet at the same time.
Right.
And I guess we are in common with many other people in this world who would like to see more love in the world.
Yeah.
And it starts within the family and the marriage.
I'll go deeper, and it starts in yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Man, because if you don't know how to honor yourself with love, how can you really put it out there for other people?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's exciting, isn't it? I think we live in the most thrilling world. The opportunities are just a phenomenon.
Well, Ann, but you never traveled to other planets, though. How do you know?
Other planets. How do you know I don't travel to other planets?
Yeah, you said this is, you gave this world all the props, but you haven't been to other worlds now. So I don't know. Mars could be the big deal, So
I think it's a little cold up there, and I prefer sunshine. Well, yes, I admit it's just this world, but since I'm on this world, I just deal with this world at this time.
Oh, yes.
I don't think I can handle these other ones.
Yeah.
I would like to go into space. I'd like to experience that, but I think for now I'm just happy at the summertime and by the beach here.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
When I think of it, like how Elon Musk has this whole vision of preparing Mars for the new place of whatever for human civilization. It just makes me it kind of makes me sad that we're so focused out of this planet, out of this world. We have so much to do here. Like, why not spend all of that talent in making sure this is a better place for us to breathe and live and grow and eat and play? But we're focused, we're like, look, once we do this planet, then I think that's what we're doing. Once we do this planet, then we're going to find another planet to destroy.
Well, hang on a moment. You remember your friend Rocky Marciano, and he took
Yes.
time out. And now you're in your RV, so you're taking time out from your planet home, and you're on the other planet, which is planet RV. Now,
Yeah.
Elon Musk wants to do planet Mars. I mean, it's a little bit further to go. But maybe he's preparing himself when he goes to planet Mars to do something very good when he gets back here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about people who will ride on his coattail, because we get these thoughts in our mind that we want more of something. Because I don't know what Elon Musk is really wanting to do. What I hear is, his vision for Mars, and what is that? Terra. What do they do when they change the environment on another planet? Terraforming. I wonder if it's leading to that whole, because I think of, hey, how we're doing this planet now. We're spending so much. I'm spending my time in my RV now, in order to improve on my life and my wife and daughter and so many people I come in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on the same planet, though. Still the same planet.
Well, one of the things I'm learning more and more as time goes on is how different we all are. Like there's Elon Musk doing his thing to Mars, and you're in your RV,
Right.
doing your thing, and I'm Miss Hermit on the beach in Cannes, and maybe we're all fulfilling something we have taken on board to fulfill. We never know. I mean, maybe one day you get to meet Elon Musk and you can ask him, "Hey, guy, why are you going to Mars? We need things done up here."
Yeah. I would love to. Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Yeah. So anyway.
So we're gonna wrap.
Yep, it's been good. So thank you all for tuning in, watching the video. Any comments that you'd like to offer, thoughts, ideas, questions, please reach out, connect with Ann Naylor, Theron King T. Washington, Ann Naylor, aka Queen Vanilla, and King T. Washington, aka King Chocolate. So we want to all bid you adieu. Be safe, be well. Until next time.
We love you.
All right.
All right.